Welcome to Yeshiva Daf, your sponsor, Nishmas, I'm Yaakov and Sitzchok. We're holding in Metzia Daf Kuftes, starting the Mishnah on top of the Amud. Hamekabel soda mechaveir l'shonim muotos. Someone, Rashi explains, we're talking about a choiker, a renter, and he is accepting the field for a few years, not many years. Lo yizrein apishta. You should not go and plant it flax. Ve'ein lo yibekoi rishikol. And also, you cannot take from the branches of the tree, which is the shikma tree, you cannot take from these branches. What is pshat in this? Rashi explains the following. The Lo Yizrein Pishta, Rashi says, Shazera Pishta makhish ba'aretz harbe v'no chazeres leyoishno ad zayin shanim. It is that the Zera Pishta doesn't grow. It ruins the ground. And it doesn't go back to normal until 7 years later. So if you're taking it only for a few years, so then there's no reason to go and do it, to go and take it after it's such to plant pishta. And then the Gemara says, Ve'ein loy be k'or shikmo. What's the idea of a k'or shikmo? So shikmo is called the sycamore tree, right? It's a type of tree. Rashi says, "Eit seraku, v'koitzutzim anofos l'koiris habinyan." You go and you cut the branches in order to use it for building. V'hem choizrim v'gdelim u'pol b'zeh shanim ein yasim koris. It takes 7 years for it to grow, and therefore, let's just finish Rashi. He got clean blood pachol mizayin shanim. If you accept it for less than 7 years, lo yakutz koris shabo. Should not cut off these branches. The koris noch is not going. He didn't come to this field for the branches. The Rishonim what they say in Choizim the curse. It doesn't take so short for it to go back and be a branch. But if he did accept for 7 years, the first year he plants flax. The koitzitz. The first year he takes the branches out, lets it regrow, and then when he gives back the field to the owner, the branches will grow again. And that's how the Mishnah ends. If he didn't accept for 7 years, so then, Shonim Rishon is ready Pishton, V'yesh L'Kor Shikmo, the first year, yes Pishton, yes Kor Shikmo. So now, interesting discussion here in the Rishonim. Rashi says this is right only for a choiker, for a rental. But a mekabel, in other words, a sharecropper, no, because the owner divides it. So what does he care? Other Rishonim say, what do you mean? It ruins the field. If the owner wants it back and does something else with it, it should apply to a sharecropper well. They're really asking Rashi what Rashi meaning. So therefore, many Rishonim learn, we're talking here about a sharecropper, or as the Rambam says, about both, sharecropper and a choiker, going back to what we mentioned earlier. The Gemara told us that all the Mishnayos that we have, we're not talking about both. It says they're not talking, according to Rambam, they're not referring to both right away, but they do apply to both. Says the Gemara, meaning, he can't take the branches of the sycamore tree, but he does take the shvach. You give him the shvach when he leaves. Why? The field was his. The tree benefit became more valuable. He had to give a share of that shvach. He doesn't have also shvach. Doesn't have anything. And the Mo is going to explain. Mason, what brings a question? So someone has the field. He's going to work in the field. He needs to leave. Shamla, you do a valuation. My love, shamin loy b'shvach shikmo. You give the value of whatever the field became better. Similarly, shamin loy yeroko v'silko. You give him the different vegetables that grow. So what do you mean? Yeroko v'silko, naka v'nishko. If vegetables that grow, you should just uproot and take it. The vegetable, the shikmo, you can't uproot it. So the question is, the discussion is, should he take a shvach? But vegetables, he can take the vegetables. I think yes, they had the day to sell the vegetables. So he's not yet harvesting the vegetables. He takes a little bit of the value of it because he deserves it. Says the Gemara, Toshua Mekabas Uluchaver Vigia Shvis. Kol Shvita. Shamin Loi. So you come and do it, you have to come and do the valuation. So the Gemara says, Shvis, Mikam Hafka Hara. When he Shvita? He still owns the field in Shvita. Not Shemitah. Someone got a field in his friend, comes to Yovel, the something goes back to the owner. Shamin loy. So then you give the valuation of what the field was supposed to be during the year. Says the Gemara, Ve'akati yovel mimafkas kablonus. I don't understand. Why Yovel takes away the field? The only time the Yovel takes away the field, the tzmitus zuachmona. Tzmitus means a field that lule Yovel would belong to the buyer forever. The Torah says that the Yovel goes back to the owner. But here, it's only for a certain amount of time. So why what's the problem? Someone told me before regarding 60 years. And you have a field for a 60-year period. It goes back to the owner. After 60 years, so there's no Yovel. And what we're doing is someone who buys a field from his friend and comes Yovel. Says the Gemara, you do a valuation, whatever he benefited the field. The field is worth more. So the owner needs to give him for what he benefited. So the like it means the vegetables they grew. So that can be Yovel is a din like Shemitah. Whatever grows in the Yovel becomes a hefker. Elam shvach shigma. Elam we're talking about when you have an extra value that the field has, like the shvach shigma. That's what he takes. Mimkar bayis. Mimkar choizer shvach eino choizer. Especially because that's a custom by Yovel. That when you sell something, you give back the original value. The shvach needs to go back to the buyer. Says the Gemara, why don't you learn from Yovel? There was a full sale. Someone sold a field. It means the field is sold forever. Yovel comes the monkey. Yovel comes the king, takes it away. It's afkas the monkey. So you say it deserves whatever you value, whatever you benefit the field. But by us, that someone comes down for a certain amount of time, he's a sharecropper, so you don't say they deserve it. Says the Gemara, Popo Kobil Aro Leaspasto. He became a sharecropper or a renter to plant this vegetable called aspasto. Trees grew in the field. So that meaning, as we'll see in a moment, he can't plant aspasto. When he left, he said, give me at least the shvach of what I benefit in the field. In other words, the trees that have now benefit, give me the shvach. So according to you, every tree that became wider, you should take a shvach. So that's very different. There, you didn't come down for the widening of the tree. Person goes, takes a field. There's trees in the field. What does he want to benefit? The fruits. Okay, fruits make sense. But here, you didn't come, and a person in a regular field did not come to take the field for the trees. But here, meaning, here I came for the field to grow, to use the entire field. Right? Here, whatever grows in this field, I plan to take it. So, that says you take shvach shikbo. What is shvach shikbo? You take whatever benefit you have. So, same thing over here. Very big difference. There's no hefset. Meaning the field, what's the problem with the field? I take from the field whatever I can. Here, meaning I was planning to take from the field. What do you mean? He went to the field to accept it, to plow it, and then there's trees in the field. The trees were there before, the trees are there now. It didn't bother him. But here there's Abseda, because here he planted to use the entire field for aspasto. The trees grew. The trees are bothering him now. So now he says, I was planting to use aspasto. Give me now, at least for the trees, the benefit of the trees. So the Gemara explains it. And that's what Rashi referred to. What did you lose? Yada de aspasto, the location of the aspasto. Says the Gemara, Shkoili yada de aspasto vizil. Okay. You know what? So take whatever that space is worth. That's not a lot. Don't take the benefit where the tree is. All I lost for you is that you could have planted in these trees a little more of a spasto. Okay, so I'll give you whatever that's worth. Because I was planning to come and plant in that space. Karko, not just a spasto. Something which is much more expensive. So in other words, you can't just kick me out and say, I'll give you the cheapest thing you can grow over here. The fact that you're saying, I want to grow karko dashkarto, something which means a certain type of plant that's being cut every single year. And you're not saying, I wanted to come and plant trees, right? So you didn't come in order to plant in the field something which is a bar kayom, as Rashi says. A tree is supposed to last forever. And you came to do something that's going to be temporary. So therefore, when you come, when you're going to grow the rishka, go and take it. What is the worth of the rishka while it's growing? Pashas from Lashon Rashi means when it's not full, even though it's very expensive, when it's not fully grown, you're leaving now. How much would you benefit from the rishka at this stage? A piece of wood. I'm not giving you the full shvach, even though if we planted the tree, you could say, well, the land now is worth 20% more because there's very special plants. Yeah, but you're planning to plant it and take it away. So I'll give you whatever would be worth right now to take it away. How much will be worth now to uproot this karkar derishka? It's a piece of wood. Not a lot of money. That's what you're getting. You're not getting the benefit of what the karkar derishka is worth. Okay. Rabbi Bava covered the arrow. So he got a land to work on. And he went around the land. He put a beautiful, nice fence made out of earth. In that piece of earth that he grew trees called azardaso. Rashi says ozardim, type of tree. And when he left, give me the shvach of the trees that grew on the border that I raised. You're coming from a place from Muloy. You're coming from Muloy. Your family in Muloy, base Eli, that they die early, so they don't have a full life. You're saying things that don't make sense, cut things that are not fully processed. The only thing Papa said is, I could have planted something else, give me shvach. Here, this was the border. You're not supposed to make anything in it. So now trees grew and you're leaving? That doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the owner of the field. So the whole discussion of the Gemara is that the Shir Kappa could say, I want the benefit of what grew in the land, which is not his. So the Gemara, he had this shakla. What's a shakla? A shakla is a person who is a planter. He's the gardener. He's the gardener who takes care of the field. Says the Gemara, so Shochim, the shakla died. V'shovak chamisho chaton vosa. He left 5 son-in-laws. Omar adein dochad hashto chamisho. So now I have one guy to deal with. Now I have 5. Adein do love so chadadi v'lo mivstili. Till now is one guy. I know I can rely and make sure he's going to take care of this field. Rashi says a vineyard. Hashto chamisho so chadadi. Now suddenly now be 5. Each one relies on the other. And they get a room in my field. You take the shvach that your father did and you leave, good. I just kick you out without giving you any shvach. What do we learn? This planter who died, we kicked him out without shvach. So I'll give you a better deal. I'll give you the shvach if you don't come with any tightness. You go with tightness, I'm going to do what Kamina Sadin, not give you any shvach at all. Says the Gemara, what he says is not true, it's not the right thing. Who shot? In other words, we do not come and rely on this. Okay, says the Gemara, who shot Adomalu in Sedino Misalkino? Says, you know what, if I lose anything, cause any loss, so take me out and don't pay me anything. Says the Gemara, Afsid. He came and lost. Okay, so he doesn't look at any shvach. He does take the shvach. So Rashi explains over here. There still is a shvach. That's what the first one holds. You can kick me out, but I do take some benefit of it. I should take some benefit. Says the Gemara, Rakana agrees. If he said clearly, I'm not taking any shvach, then for sure he goes without shvach. The fact that he said if I don't do it, it's a smachta. He didn't really mean it. He meant I'll take care of it. You can rely on me. So smachta likani, he does take a shvach. So when we roll my story, what we learned before? Person says, I'm not going to make the field, I'll pay you the best. You take it from him. Why do you take it from him? There, he says, very different. There, whatever he lost, he pays. Right? In other words, he says, I'm going to take care of the loss. But here, whatever you take, and you take the loss. In other words, it's not a smachta to say that whatever I lost is my fault, I'll take care of. But to say that I don't take any benefit, even though there is a benefit, that's a smachta. And says the Gemara, Runyo Shabta de Ravinu Havo. Runu was the planter of Ravinu. Have Afsit is causing a loss. Salki, he kicked him out. Ravinu kicked him out. So, so the Gemara also come into a carry for the Rava. Amalei Chozi Mar, my COVID Lee. So Runu said, look what Ravinu does to him. Well, Shavina of it. He did good. You lose it. Amalei Aloy Chobi didn't give me any warning. Amalei Lutzrichol Hatris. He doesn't have to come in the morning. Rabbi Letami Dover over Mikri Dardik is someone who teaches children. Shatlo, a planter. Tavcho, a butcher. Umno, a mekis dam. Or Rashi says, Amoil Tinoikos. The Rashi Leil says mekis dam. Rashi here says he is a moy. When the Kudas base, the sopar mato, right? The Pashto mean that we talk about the barber. So, or the one who writes the shtaris, two different pshatim. Kulam kimuchi voyinudam. They all mutra. They ruin. It's something that's very hard to fix. So they have to warn. Make sure not to ruin anything. Kol the milsa. Kol psei de loyoden. They have said does it go back? Kimuchi voyinudam. So once you make a ruin, you can't ruin it. So especially we talk about the sefer, we talk about the moyil, we talk about they ruined something, you can't give it back. How shatlo? There was this planter. Give me what I benefit. I want to go to Israel. I want to end my agreement. Also, give me the came for the Bava. Vashmol. Omelu, Havli Shvach, give him the Shvach. Omerova, you Hashbach, Arul Hashbach. I mean, don't give him only the Shvach. He doesn't take the full benefit. The land also benefits. So you take a portion. Omele, Ono, Pal, go to Shvach, come in. You take only 50% of the Shvach. Look. Omele, I'll think of a Shokya Balabais Palko, a shuttle Palko. Hashto, by the Misa, Motel Zariso. We're having a problem. I had here a shotgun. What was a shotgun? Shotgun is the type of a sharecropper. He's the planter. He comes to the field. He will do, let's say we split it 50-50. You take 50%, I take 50%. You take 50%? Great. But now, the 50% that you grew, you're taking, you're leaving Teretz Yisrael. You're leaving the 50%, that's fine. I don't know how to work the field. I have to hire a new sharecropper. That sharecropper will take a third because it's already finished. As the Rashi says, 50% is like to start planting, but if it's already planted, just to take care of the field, be a gardener, it's a third. So how can we lose a third of what we're supposed to get? That's what one says. I have to give the portion to the armies. Why should I lose? Because you decide to go to Eretz Yisrael. So you know what? I'm not saying give 50% of the shvach to the planter. Give him only a quarter. What do you mean a quarter? It means a dango means a 6. What does it mean? Where a planter takes half, mentioned before, the always takes a third. High shot to the Bais Saluki, the shuttle wants to leave in the middle. Yavin le shvacho, give him his shvach. Umasakile, and take him out. Keicha the linte hefs the Bava to make sure there's no hefs to the Bava. So you make sure there's no hefs to the Bava. So what do you do? Yahweh b'shva riba do danka shafir. And Yahweh riba bamish kamativ say the Bava pal gadanko. What does the Gemara say? What is like this? Well, maybe we should look at Rashi inside. Rashi says, "Some of Hashmei Rivo the trait till to a Magil Ba'abais keshetoitzi shlish yitztorach liten la'oris sheyorid lo." Take away what the oris needs to take, and then you want to make sure the Ba'abais stays with half. Do daka b'chol shvach again. That's a sixth of the entire care. What does it mean? Okay, good. Ima shvach shisha dinar. The entire shvach is 6. What are the lorries he took up to the field that he's going to have to work in it? How much lorry takes? A third. So a third of the 6 is what? 2. Even though the other guy takes half, the other guy takes the money at half. Now you start both dinar, man. Then there's 4. Man, you told a dinar. The shot will take 1. I know revot b'mayit the matzah ba'abayis to tank the shot. That means a quarter of the ba'abayis says what's a 6. Meaning, the one understood the saying. The planter says, I want to leave. Give me the money if it's worth. So 1 second. You want to leave, I have to hire somebody else. Whatever I give you, I lose. I don't want to lose my chelik. It's not fair. So then, okay, let's say the whole thing was worth 6. How much is Ba'abai supposed to get? 3. Okay, so give 3 to Ba'abai. Now, what's left? 3. I have to hire a new sharecropper. He's going to take a third of the whole thing. So he's going to take 2. So what's left for the shopper is 1. So instead of the shopper taking 3, if you would stay till the end, he takes 1, which is a back at the 6 of the whole thing. A quarter with Ba'abayis takes, because the Ba'abayis takes 3. So a quarter together with the Ba'abayis. Says the Gemara, we said the quarter is a 6. Shopper, so the Ba'abayis doesn't lose. The Ba'abayis will lose Palagadanko, half of the 6. Why? Because if you say that the shatlo, the planter, will take a quarter, what's a quarter of 6? 1.5. So you have to give the Aries the new sharecropper 2. You have to give the shatlo 1.5. What's left? 2.5. The Ba'abayis loses a half, which is a half of a 6. You should say, why you're saying that you're going to take care of the entire field by bringing a sharecropper? No. I own, so to speak, a portion of the field. So your portion, you take it always for your portion. My portion, don't worry about me. That's what you're saying. Meaning, let's see Rashi again. Shatlo. Whatever I was supposed to work for you, you bring a sharecropper of it. Is a quarter. Dinar ketzad. You take 3/4 of the vineyard. You give a third of it to the Aris, which is 1.5. It says, why do we have to give you so much? Says the sharecropper. I will give you 4.5 out of the 6. You give out of that 1.5 to a sharecropper, you're left with 3. I stay with 1.5. The way I take care of my 1.5, don't worry about me. Why are you taking care of the Aris for my part? Whatever I want, I can do with it. So why are you taking care of my chelik? So therefore, what it says, I think, in other words, the first one says, I look at the sharecropper goes to the entire field, I give his chelik, whoever is left, I'll give to the planter. The planter says, no, give me my chelik, I'll take care of you, and then my chelik, I'll worry about it myself. Says the Gemara, actually. When you cut the shchitas kachim, I'll ask you a question. Rashi brings 2 explanations. Either pshat, they see that you're so deep, so when we come to learn zvachim, which is very deep, let's learn there. In other words, I'm sending you to brisk. You're a good landing. Or the pshat is that it was just doichen. He says, your questions belong to kachim, not over here. Rashi doesn't like this. He says, he has a good question. So therefore he agrees with the first pshat. And the many Rishonim have a different pshatim here, but let's see with this. Said the Gemara, Gufo Omar Bredam Nechui Bad Shat Vishat Lepal Govaris Afilto, in the location where the planter takes 50% and the Aris takes a third. Haishad Bayis to look at the one who wants to leave. Yavin Le Shvach, give him a strach. Umasakin Le Keved leave so Balabais. Make sure the Balabais doesn't lose. We said before, he needs to take care of whatever you have to pay for the Aris. Omar Bredam Nechui Kupo Sabo Palgo. Shatvanara Rivo. Meaning, if you have an old vine, so then the shato takes a half. Meaning, if the Rashi explains the gufa kevin shiskina bekerem, harikishar zmor shechokim behem noitel bo shato pag or shapirs, kan the buruk rachet dai an old tree that stopped growing, that's normal for it to stop growing. So I take 50% of it. But if a river came and took it out, and now you want to take part of the wood, so it's as if the shatla left early, even though when he left early it was his volition, he decided on his own. And here was a river, that's his nozzle. So because I can't use it, it's as if we stopped our agreement early, so therefore we take only a quarter. Person gave a pardes, a vineyard to his friend to take care of it for 10 years. After 5 years, it stopped growing. So just explain one thing. Rashi explains over here, it's a mashka. And which mashka it is? Mashkanto besuro, meaning that he eats a portion every year, then he gives it back to him. So here, after 5 years, he couldn't eat anymore. So what do you do with what's left? Sedabaya, whatever is left is a piro. So the malva should take it's a Paris he takes for himself, he can take the wood. No, it's a carry. Meaning it's the land. The land you can't take. So what do you have to do with it? So the question is, the wood of the trees that doesn't grow anymore, is that considered to be part of the land? The land belongs to the borrower and the lender can't take it? Or it's considered to be Paris and the lender can take it? We learned by Mashkanto, Rashi of Mashkanto, this would say something else. But if you got dry or niktzas, you're not allowed to use it. Clearly, like Rava. My love Yovesh to the niktzas. We're talking about the same case. My niktzas bizmanoi, I've Yovesh bizmanoi. Now, that's what Rashi says. After 5 years, it stopped growing. Talk about a case, that's what it was supposed to be. It was old trees. So Gemara says, we're talking about it, that's what it's supposed to be. And still it's not considered, as you can see, it's considered to be as a land. So the Gemara, Al-Mukarnav, you see it's called to be the principle. Simolo, Niktzas, Dumyo, Yovesh, Yovesh Belois Manoi, Af Niktzas Belois Manoi. Meaning what? So no, we're not talking about old trees and that's what's supposed to be. It happened too early. There, everybody agrees. If it happened too early, the trees were supposed to have fruit. So they stopped having fruits. That's really a problem. Then you have to go and say these trees are carnal. Because we were supposed to give more fruits. They didn't, so we'll buy and make fruits out of them. But if originally they were supposed to give fruits only for 5 years, so how do you treat it after 5 years? Says there comes a buyer and says, that's already pure. That's part of I came to the land to benefit as many fruits as I have. Once the fruits are over, I take the trees. That was part of the cheshbon. I'm taking it originally. That's why buyer looks at the payroll. If it was unexpected, everybody agrees it's carnal. So we'll talk about another raya. No fool of tfonim v'seizim skein. Talking about a woman who got married, and if she inherited old vines or olive trees. Say the word of kovyudim with aleph. Yimochru le'etzim b'kach b'im karka b'ucha peres. You sell it for wood, and with that you buy it to the land and eat fruits. So what do you see over here? You see that you treat it as karno. Says the Gemara, eimo v'iskinu. What's an iskinu? They weren't supposed to finish having fruits. Old age jumped on them. So again, it's unexpected. Unexpected, you use it as fruits. You use it as karno according to everybody. We're talking about that the land wasn't her. She inherited trees in other fields. If you take the trees, nothing is left. That you can't do. Not to a wife and not to a borrower. You can't just take away the principle. If there is a principle that's left, like you have the land, What do the trees consider? Are they part of the principle? Or they're the fruits of the land? That's a discussion. But to take away the land itself, take away the karno, that's not. In that case, talk about the trees who are in a different field. She doesn't own the field. She owns only the trees. Everybody agrees. So we got into the discussion of how do you look at trees because we mentioned this idea of a shatla where the trees died unexpectedly. We'll stop over here. Continue from here, Be'ez Hashem, from the 2 dots of Kaviyud later today. Everybody should have a wonderful day.